right, let's talk about on payments on loans, how we find the interest on the first payment. So here's Chico Alvarez. He obtained a loan for $3,500 to put a new roof on his home. The interest rate is 11%. What is the interest on the first monthly payment? Well, we use our basic formula for interest, and that's principal times rate times time. The principal is $3,500. The rate is 11%. Remember, move the decimal 2 places to the left. Okay, 0.11 times the amount of time. Well, this is monthly payments. So the time is in years. So what part of a year is a month? It's 1/12 of a year, because there are 12 months in a full year. So here's how you would calculate that on your calculator. You would take 3,500 times 0.11, and you could go times 1 divided by 12. The times 1 really isn't going to do much, but you do want to do the divided by 12 on the end. So 3,500 times 0.11 times 1 divided by 12. So for that first payment that he makes, the amount of the payment that will go to interest is $32.08. Now the rest of the payment will go to make his balance smaller, but he has to pay $32.08 in interest. All right, here's Brad Clark. He took out a simple interest loan for 14% interest for 12 months. His previous balance was $546. What is the final payment if the loan is paid off with the next payment? Okay, so here's their hint, is to first find the monthly interest rate, multiply it by the previous balance, and this will give you the final interest charge. So one way that you can calculate this, since to find our interest, we have to take the balance, or the principal, in this case it would be whatever's left of our balance, $546, times the rate, and you're supposed to do it times the amount of time. Well, since this is going to happen the same over and over again, we're going to have a rate of 0.14, and we're going to have a time of 1/12. Okay, what they're saying when they say find the monthly interest rate is they're saying calculate this portion of your formula. Okay, what is this part going to be? 0.14 times 1 divided by 12. Okay, when we do that, we get 0.0116666. Now, the only downside to that is the rounding. You would want to leave that in your calculator if you're going to use it. You do have the option. So what that does for you is every month it would give you the same interest rate. You would just take the balance times that to find your interest. But you always can go back to the good old take the balance or the principal times the rate times the time, and you can do that every time you have to calculate, if whichever is easiest for you. So if we're paying off with this loan on this payment, we have to pay the $546 plus any interest that we owe. Now the interest we owe, again, we take the current balance of $546 times our rate of 0.14 times 1/12, or just 546 times this number we found up here. Okay, when we do that, we get $6.37. So again, this is the amount of interest you owe right now, is $6.37. But if you wanted to just pay the whole thing off, then you would pay your balance that's still due plus the amount of interest that was due on this payment. So when we do that, add the 546 plus the $6.37, we get $552.37. And that's how much you would pay to just pay the entire loan off right now. Hey, Tracy Finley obtained a loan for $2,200 to buy a computer and a printer. The interest rate was 8.5%, and the monthly payment over 24 months is $121.24. how much of the first monthly payment covered the principal. So here again we have, she starts out owing $2,200. This is her very first payment, so right now her balance on the loan is $2,200. How much interest is she going to owe for that? So again, for interest, remember we do the principal, $2,200 is her balance right now, times the rate, 0.085, times the amount of time, which again is 1/12 because these are monthly payments. We calculate that, and we get $15.58. So what does that tell us? This is the amount of interest she owes for that first month. She's making a monthly payment of $121.24. So to find the amount that's going to principal, the amount that will bring your balance down, what you do is you take your monthly payment, how much you're paying, $121.24, and you subtract the amount of interest that you owed, because this is interest that goes to the company, and whatever's left will make your balance just a little bit smaller. Click play to start. Okay, so we have $105.66. That is the amount of that first payment that will go to principal. The other $15.58 goes to cover the interest that